What is up, Bulldog Nation? We are back with the Bulldog Breakdown with Coach Rocco. It's a great day. It's been a little bit of
A
rain
little
out
bit,
here. It's
yeah.
been a
A little
little
damp.
ugly.
Yeah.
These guys have been raring to go for a couple weeks, but this is game week, and I'm excited. Cannot
About
be more.
time.
It's about time. About time for Bulldog football to be back in Virginia, and really I know that every game and every week is a new week and every season a new season, but I'm hosting this thing, so I'm gonna say the defense of the title starts now, and we're excited for that. We want to welcome you. This is a lot of fun. This is year 3 of doing this. We've got one under our belt. Took a couple weeks off, and we're back. Coach, how you feeling?
I feel great. I mean, like you said, the weather's cool. I mean, we're still somewhat in summer,
Yeah.
and it's maybe 75 degrees, overcast, and had a great day to practice. So, kids had a good practice today. So I'm excited about Friday night and getting this thing going again.
All right, so let's take a minute. Let's talk about the last 2 weeks. Really, it's been 3 weeks since we played, right?
Well, yeah, game week is
Game
the
week.
third week.
This is
Yeah,
the third,
yeah,
and
yeah.
what's that like? Uh, going and playing such a big game
Right.
in Ohio,
Mhm.
one that doesn't really matter for a conference or anything, but big game,
Right.
big experience. But then coming back, you've got a couple weeks before your first game back here. How does that impact the team and even you as coaches in planning and keeping the guys in the mentality of we're in season
Yeah.
even though we're not playing?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't easy. It was the first time we've ever done this. But honestly, I'm looking at it as a positive. We had a very short training camp. School started very early this year, so teachers had to go back early. So we just didn't have a real traditional long camp. So hurrying up into the first scrimmage, and then quickly after that's the exhibition game, and then we're taking a bus ride to Ironton, Ohio, and so it all just happened so quickly. We have some inexperience on our team this year, so we just never fully were able to get our feet on the ground. And then these last 2 weeks, I think, has given us that, and so I think it was a blessing, quite honestly, and hopefully we'll see that in the way that we perform on Friday night. And the other thing is too, I mean, it gave us a chance to really evaluate against a really, really good football team. I mean, in the last 2 weeks, they've beaten two very good teams.
So they're firing on all cylinders.
Yeah,
Like you said, they've been doing this year
yeah,
round.
they had 55 points the other night, and then they won 49-7 the week before that. So I mean, they're a legitimate big time team, and we really feel that if we play them again later in the year, we play them much differently and much better. But a lot was learned. A lot was learned from that, and hopefully we've made those adjustments in the last 2 weeks.
Right. So now we come into this week. This is an official game week. So
Right.
your week this week looks like a typical.
That's right.
You've gone back to that schedule.
Yeah.
Before we get into the X's and O's, we're going to take a break here in a second. I want to talk to this week. We're going to talk to Jade Coward,
Right.
our athlete of the week. Brought to you by Austin Bynum. I don't want to sound like a commercial, but he's awesome, and we love him. We're thankful for his support. And I usually ask you what the guy in front. I like for these guys to hear you tell them, really tell me, but tell them what they mean to you.
Right.
Let's talk about there was a significant shift of leadership in the guys that left this year, and,
Right.
and so several guys are having to step up. I see that in Jade, to see him desire to take some of the mantle. Talk to me a little bit about some of the guys that you see stepping up in leadership.
Yeah, so every year we choose what we call a morale committee, which is our leadership group. Jaden has served on that group in years past as a junior and underclassman. Now he's a senior, and he's now one of the multiple seniors that serve on that group. And we have representation from each of the grade levels. So we have you know, representation from ninth grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. And Jaden kind of is one of the guys that oversees the leadership group. Um, you know, but other guys, Austin Tremblay is a senior that's on that squad. Bodie Aronson is another senior. So those are the more senior veteran guys. They've all been returning starters. And then the other guys are more younger underclassmen, but basically serve in a capacity that they, you know, are liaisons with their grade level. And then into that group where we can, you know, make some decisions, we can give some input on how things are going, and make some changes if necessary.
Right, right. That's good. Well, let's take a minute. Let's jump out of here. Let's go talk to Jaden Cowart. All right, we are here with Jaden Cowart, our Player of the Week. Player of the Week brought to you by Osterbine Law. We're so thankful for Brandon Osterbine supporting Bulldog Athletics. Jaden, how are you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm guessing you're raring to go, raring to get back out on the football field and play
Big
some
time.
ball.
Yes, sir.
Just a couple of questions I have for you this week. First of all, tell me how senior year is going.
And it's going great. You know, being able to step up in some roles and take over some shoes of guys that were, you know, great players that were playing at the college level. You know, being able to walk in their steps and now doing what they're doing. You know, trying you know, to push myself, push our team. You know, and get to where we need to be. So
Nice. How do you see yourself in the leadership role this year? You've grown up under some really great leaders. You talked about some of the guys that have gone on to play college ball. You watch them lead. What? How do you feel that a leader in Bulldog football really shapes the way the team plays?
I mean, honestly, you know, I'm at, you know, trying to just, you know, push the spiritual side of everything. You know, that's the biggest thing with me. Like, you know, like my passion is football, but my passion is also Christ. So, you know, that's something that I push and try to, you know, strive to be not only just a leader, but a spiritual leader, being able to push the guys, you know, in the right way, and you know, showing them like how a you know, 18-year-old football player should be able to, you know, to act and to be on the field and off the field. So.
You know, we've talked about that before when we've had you on, of how faith plays a role in the way you play ball. Tell me how you see that now that you've grown into this. How does faith in Christ translate to the way that you play football, the way that you practice?
Yeah, I mean, just the basis of like everything that we do, God tells us everything you do, you know, do for the glory of God, and do it for Him. So, you know, going out there, just being out of practice for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, you know, just getting by everything. You know, that's what I try to do every practice, every game. You know, putting everything on the line, leaving it all on the field. I mean, we are called to be, you know, people that are bold in our faith, and so, you know, if that's even, you know, to my team, to the team, you know, just being bold in the faith and standing up for what is right. So.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, we always talk every time we sit down with an athlete. I'm always asking you, what does it mean to have a guy like this on your team? Obviously, having Jaden in there is much more than him getting handed the ball and running over to somebody. What does Jaden mean to this team?
Well, I mean, he's our guy this year. He's our nucleus. Everything's built around him. He's our only 3-year starter, which is huge, you know, in terms of just the experience factor. I mean, we don't have a tremendously experienced team this year, so he's bringing it in that regard. I mean, also, I get nostalgic too as a human being and as a coach. I look back over time. You know, Jaden's brother played here, Jordan, and we've known the family for years, and they've been great supporters of our program. And you know, I look at families that have multiple, you know, siblings that play in the program as building blocks that everyone else built on top of,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So generationally, the Coward family has been tremendously impactful to our team. And unfortunately, there's no more coming. This is the last one.
Jaden, coming into this week, obviously, this is a very time-sensitive thing. People looking back on these last couple of weeks in our culture and our country's history, it's going to be something of the past. But you guys are dealing with it right now, as far as things that have been happening in the world around us. Tell me how that has impacted you and your faith, and really just Is that something that impacts a football player, a team? Do you guys talk about these things?
Yeah, so with the whole Charlie Kirk and everything that has gone on in our country, the cool thing though is that you can see God's work through that, through through all these things, the spiritual things that are people are becoming awakened. Even in our school, the student body is building up in their faith. Truthfully, I mean, we came into this year, you know. There's people that were in their faith and they're doing good. But now I feel like it's a lot more of our school coming together, and even on our football team, coming together in their faith and putting their faith first and putting Jesus Christ first, which is the most important thing. And it's beautiful to see. It's amazing to see.
Back to a couple football things, and then we'll let you go. I know you want to get a shower, go get some cookout or something. Probably something more healthy than cookout. I just think of a cookout with, I'm hungry too. So there's that. Thinking about this year, senior year, what are some goals that you have maybe for yourself and you'd like to see the team accomplish?
To leave what our legacy is coming from the senior side. What is our legacy? What are we going to leave? What's important to us that we're going to leave to the guys that are younger us? How are we going to build them up? And build each other up. Like what are we going to leave? Ultimately, like one of my biggest things that I want to win football games, but I want to win souls. And that's the biggest thing, giving everything to Christ and pushing Christ and being bold in our faith, standing up for what is right. Winning games is amazing. I love winning games. Don't get me wrong. But ultimately, I would rather see people give their life to Christ than win a game. And that's the truth, because ultimately we will die. And that's the biggest thing. We will die. That is a fact. Everyone knows that one day they're going to die. So where are you going to go? Are you gonna be forever eternally with God, or you can be forever eternally separated from Him? And so that's the biggest question that we ask every people all the time. And you ask yourself every day, like, where am I gonna go?
Yeah.
And we have to come down to that truth to ourselves and be like, and realize like, what is our decision? What decisions am I making every day that are impacting what my life is and what my life stands for and who I stand for? So and what's my identity? What do I put my identity in? So.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Coach, for a guy like this, a few weeks off from playing, we played one game and then we've had a couple of weeks where we've had to sit and think about it. How does that impact a running back? How does that impact a team going into this week?
I mean, we've tried to stay somewhat in a normal routine. Last Thursday, we kind of played an inter-squad scrimmage and tried to turn the heat up a little bit to make it feel like it was game day. And so we did the best we could. I mean, quite honestly, coming out of a couple weeks of preseason camp and then the scrimmage, exhibition game, regular game, to take a little bit of a break was very welcome, and especially running back that uh, Jaden plays both sides of the ball, safety and running back. So, I mean, I think it was good timing. Now, hopefully, we were able to maximize on those 2 weeks to come back now and get us back going on track and continue to improve from there. But, Jaden's been a model Bulldog for years now, and just want to see him and his senior classmates really be able to create some real special memories this year.
Yeah. Jaden, a couple weeks off, on the scale of 1 to run through a brick wall, how ready you hit the football field?
I would be in a game right now if I could, man. It's just 2 weeks and knowing that we start our season and then having to wait 2 weeks to get back into a game. I think it's good that we had those 2 weeks, to build even more on the foundation that we've built on. But I'm ready to get in the game. I'm ready to hit someone.
You got a go-to after-game meal that you like?
Hey, I'll be honest, it's probably Taco Bell.
Taco Bell, nice.
I'll be honest, it's a couple chicken quesadillas and a Baja Blast. I'll be honest, that's my go-to if I can. But La Villa, pop out.
Yeah,
La
nice,
Villa, pop
nice.
out. We'll be there.
Absolutely. Hey, Bulldog Nation, Jaden Coward, catch him on the football field if you can, because I know I sure can't. But thanks for coming hanging out with us. Good luck this week.
Yes,
All right, what a great guy! What a blessing for the Bulldogs to have a guy like Jaden. A lot of guys like, but be able to have him and his perspective on really understanding the mission of LCA and his mission personally to see others come to know Christ.
I mean, just the privilege to be able to coach him and other guys like him. I mean, and we're playing the game of football with young men of such quality like him. I mean, it's just a tremendous privilege to be able to coach guys like him.
I know. I wish I had that perspective like he does when I was his age. But I am thankful for that. Glad that we have a coaching staff and a support system that surrounds this team that is able to really instill that. And
Right.
you know, he talked about what's going on in school. I can't help but be thankful for Pastor Andy.
Right.
And if you don't know Andy Lawrence, great guy and absolutely doing the most for kids in the school to help their spiritual development. It's pretty awesome. Coach, we're again coming back to Virginia to start playing some football here, but there have been teams.
Right.
Not everybody's had these weeks off. We've seen a couple weeks of action within the Seminole, different teams that have gotten out of the gate. Let's talk about a couple. First one, you and I just talked about a second ago. Liberty High School got their first win
Right.
in a lot of games. Have you ever been in that position? Have you ever felt that where there's been such a long, maybe not that long of a streak, but where things just haven't gone well, and suddenly you have such success? That had to be like winning a Super Bowl right there.
Yeah, I'm so happy for them. I mean, it just is an indication, too, of how good the Seminole District is. So, like, even, you know, what would be the team that has struggled the most in the district, they go out and they play a Dogwood District team, and it was like 50-some to 20-some, I think.
Right.
It was a very significant score. Yeah, so I mean, just imagine the emotion that went along with that. You know, their fan base, and then the players themselves to be able to get that monkey off their back, so to speak. I mean, I was very happy for them when I saw that score.
Yeah, sometimes that's the big thing of getting
Yeah.
that first one after it's been a while. So congrats to Liberty High School. Often we get conversations. I get people ask me because we're Liberty Christian Academy, Liberty High School, but congrats to them. Other teams that stand out to you in the Seminole, EC Glass, Heritage, all of those guys. What do you see in the conference this year?
Yeah, so the first 3 weeks have been basically non-district games. So starting this week, our game against Amherst, and then everybody else will be playing district games from here on out for the most part. So now it really starts. But, the exhibition games or the non-district games are on your record as well. Heritage is probably thought to be the front runner. Jefferson Forest is right on up there. EC Glass is right on up there. Brookville is very, very talented this year. Russburg is a new coach, and I know that they're trying to get things going with the new coach, but he's a good, young, energetic guy that I'm sure is going to get things going. You already mentioned Liberty. Amherst, who we're playing this Friday night, is big, athletic, long, talented. So they're going to be a challenge, each week and in week out. Who am I missing? I've gotten everybody.
I think you hit everybody.
Yeah. I mean, it's another one of those seasons where, anybody's on a given day, Sunday, any given Sunday,
Right.
Anybody can win. Probably, given Heritage the kind of lead dog, so to speak, JF and Glass, and hopefully we may kind of be in that mix, but we'll see.
I know you don't pay attention really to what people say outside of this place right here. This is all that matters right here. But do you feel that with guys like Gideon and Easton gone, some of the significant guys, do you feel that there's a lot of eyes on this team this year to see if the Dogs are still the top dog?
Yeah, maybe. I would expect that. I would hope that people are wondering whether this is something we can continue to do. I mean, I mentioned when we were talking about Jaden, he had a brother that played here years ago. I mean, he was on winning teams. So I mean, we've been winning for a long time, and experiencing great great memories for a long time. But every year's new, and the chemistry and the camaraderie of a new group with new leadership, as we've already talked about, it's a new year, and we want those guys to be able to experience the same thing guys have experienced in the past. So in the household, the Jaden Cowards and the Jordan Cowards, I mean, they can show rings, they can experience, memories that they had, 8 years ago and present day. So, it's a new year, and we're hopeful that we can continue to do what we've been blessed to do over for a while now.
So let's talk about this game. We're facing Amherst. Help those of us that haven't watched film
Right.
on this team. What kind of team are we looking at? Of course, every year you got new guys that are coming in and up, but overall, programs generally have a same feel. Is that the way it is with Amherst? Are we still in that same?
Yeah. So
look?
they have a new coach as of 3 years ago. Coach Chris Moore has been at the college level.
Mhm.
Now he's coming back to his alma mater at Amherst, and he's done a great job. Just slowly building and getting the athletes out and getting them honed in on what it is that he likes to do offensively, defensively, and so forth. And they improved a lot last year, and they're taking another major step this year. They have a lot of returning guys. Their whole offensive line is back almost. The quarterback's back. Have a couple receivers that are back and they're big and long on the offensive side. On the defensive side, they're not big. They're more 215, 220, but run and very active on the defensive side. So it's a kind of a dichotomy of how their team plays out. But I expect them to be a real challenge, obviously, for us. But then I think they'll be in the conversation in the Seminole District as the year goes on.
That's exciting. It's a great team to face here. We're starting a new winning streak. We're looking to start that over.
Right.
That came to an end at 28 games. Is that right?
Who's counting?
Who's counting? I do. I got the luxury of being able to do that. But the one thing that remains is home winning streak. We haven't lost in this place, and a lot of that we've got a great fan base, got great students to come out, and so it's going to be an exciting week. Before we get out of here, I do want to talk about the game this week. There's some special things going on this week. First, you're talking to me that it's elementary night.
Yes.
Talk to me about what that means. I've seen it, but tell me what that means in the school and what we're going to see that.
Yeah, it's just an opportunity for us to kind of honor, recognize the youngest kids in the school, let them experience what a Friday night football night is like, whether it's band, whether it's cheerleaders, whether it's the actual team on the field. You get all these young kids that are eventually going to be your future in any of those roles. And you kind of light a fire under them to look forward to doing something just like that when they get older. And that brings moms and dads and hopefully grandma and grandpas and make it a Bulldog Nation special evening. We're also going to partner with the Gaudio Foundation.
Okay.
Cash Gaudio, one of our former students here who unfortunately passed away last year. And there's a foundation that has been formed to do some very significant fundraising for some projects here community-wise and within the school and so forth. And we want to partner with them. And Cash's favorite color was the color orange. He was a big sports fan and really was our number one sports fan in his years here at LCA. And so they want to have an orange out to kind of recognize him and get the foundation kind of kicked off and give it some visibility within our community here. And then we'll also be naming, this will be a first time, a Spirit Student of the Year. So what we're kind of doing is naming could be a senior, could be a junior, usually an upperclassman that will take our mantle as kind of the leader of the student section
Okay.
and take it into the fall season and maybe even into the basketball season and then
Right.
into the spring. So this will be the first time we're doing it, but we're doing it under this umbrella of this Cash Gaudio Foundation and kind of modeling on what Cash was as a leader in the student section
Yeah, he
here
was.
in school.
Yeah. I remember that his senior year. I remember seeing just about every picture of the
Yeah.
student section.
Yeah,
He was
that's
out
right.
in front.
That's right.
Being a little wild and crazy. So definitely something
Yeah.
fun thing for students to look forward to and be involved in.
Yeah.
But like Coach said, I know that we're blue and we're red, but this week we're orange.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
grab your orange
It's
polos.
supposed to
Or,
be a beautiful night too. I mean, it's warm during the day. A little bit of warm temperatures are coming back in by the end of the week. But I would
It's
think
gonna be
by
a
7 o'clock,
perfect
it's going
September
to it's going to be a very nice
football
September.
game.
Yeah.
The concession stand is always great,
Yeah.
and
Food trucks.
food trucks are going to be here.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic. It is going to be the perfect time for football. And this is a big football weekend, too, because the Flames
yeah,
are back
that's right.
this weekend
Yeah.
with one of the biggest games that they've had in years.
That's right.
And I always like to ask you this. I rise and fall with the Flames. I got my
Same here.
tailgate and all the things. JMU's coming in. And obviously this isn't Notre Dame. It's not, Arkansas. But for us, they're an hour and a half away. They're going to Battle of the Blue Ridge. They've got games scheduled till 2040 now.
Yeah.
There are kids that are in kindergarten that will be playing in this rivalry by the time that they go.
That's great.
Tell me what your thoughts are about the Flames shot this weekend.
Yeah, actually, when I was coaching 20-some years ago back at LU, we played LU or JMU twice, home and away. And I remember that conversation saying, man, this would be a perfect, interstate game. You can kind of create a trophy or a cup
Right.
or something that goes along with it. And praise God that it finally came together. And, I'm praying for Coach Chadwell and the staff and the guys and really just being able to, just like us, get back on track and, against a really good team that is local and has great visibility, name recognition, to create a little bit of mojo back into the program. But I'm feeling good about it. I feel that the Flames are going to show up and compete, and it's going to be a fun atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, Coach, it's been fun. We got a big weekend of football starting right out there with Amherst coming into town. Lancers are going to come in with their sights set on you guys, and so it's going to be exciting. Anything else you got for Bulldog Nation before we log off?
No, I mean, just please come on out and support. I mean, when the stadium is packed, the boys really feed on the energy. I think the community really can experience something very special when we're all kind of rowing that boat together. Band, cheerleaders, concession stand, just fans. We're all in this thing together, and we really, really, really appreciate packed stadium. So please come on out.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. Come be loud, especially when we're on defense. Third downs is a big deal. So the boys absolutely love that. And just have fun. It's a great time to hang. Such a great space to be in. It's going to be a great night. Want you to be out there. As always, you can get your tickets online. You can get them at the gate, but the smart ones get it online so you can walk right in and find your seats. Coach, been a blessing.
Yeah,
been a good time. As we always say, go Dogs.